Coming up tonight on Season Pass, Central looks to avoid going 0-2 in District 2-6A play. Water Valley looks to remain unbeaten on the season. Angelo State football returns home to LeGrand Stadium. The Bells volleyball team looks to stay perfect in Lone Star Conference play. Our Player of the Week is announced, and the Cowboys welcome an undefeated Carolina to AT&T Stadium. Welcome to Season Pass. Thanks for staying up with us. I'm your host, Ryan Campo. For Week 6 of the high school football season, plus Angelo State Athletics, the NFL, a whole bunch more. Grab your popcorn, kick back, relax. Let's have some fun for the next 30 minutes. We'll start off tonight's show with some high school football. The first two visits to Odessa's Ratliff Stadium for Central in the second quarter. Broncos up 14-7. Third down, Diego Cervantes. Touchdown pass to Adrian Madrid. Big Red up 21-7. Bobcats trying to start something. Handoff to Darius Floyd. He gets into Bronco territory on that play right there. Fourth down, Central gets the completion, stopped short of the chains by Jesus Carrasco. Big win for OHS. The Broncos take down the Cats 41-14. Overcast night over at San Angelo Stadium on Friday. The Chiefs hosting the Wildcats late in the first quarter. Quarterback design run to the outside. It's Jacob Chapa who takes a hit, reaches over the goal line, is in for 6. Chiefs up 7-0. To the second, a wild play as the Wildcats quarterback gets picked off by Brandon Cruz, would later lose the ball to a fumble, and Fabens would recover. However, just 2 plays later, the Chief defense comes up big once again. It's Josh Torres with the fumble, and it's covered by Juan Ortiz for Lakeview. And obviously head coach Hector Guevara loving what his defense is doing in the first half. And if one interception was good, more is better. This time it's Tavon White steps in front of the pass to keep the Wildcats off the board. We go to under a minute before half. Lakeview taking a risk on 4th and 6 right around midfield. Cade Henry drops back and loads the deep ball to Chapa. Comes up with the catch at the 3-yard line. Then just a play later, Josh Torres who takes it in to extend the Lakeview lead to 14-0. Streak is over. Lakeview gets their first win on homecoming since 2010. 28-8 the final. While on the road Friday in Fredericksburg to take on the unbeaten Shiner Comanches. Starting in the second, Shiner already up 7-0. Doug Brooks gets the handoff. He finds an open field in front and takes it in for 6. Shiner up 14-0. Later in the second, now it's Dalton Brooks. Finds the handoff. He takes it down the field, and now it's 20-0 Comanches. Now with seconds left in the first half, the Hawks respond. It's Gabe Haskins who finds Jacob Richardson. The pass is complete. Wall now down 14-10. However, we go to the third. Wensky hands off to Dalton Brooks. He finds himself another clear path to the end zone to make it 28-7. Shiner would take this one 42-14. Coming up in Season Pass, we continue our high school football review. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Howdy, folks. Joe Theismann here. Listen, during these unprecedented times...
College football is back! Woo!
That's right. Fansville is back. So get out your gear and slip on your finest foam finger. Put the Dr. Peppers on ice and get ready for Fansville's return to glory. Because this year, the fans are back. Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
It's fall, y'all. Come into Trend Furniture just in time for fall savings, up to 30% off with no interest till 2024. With Harvest Brown leathers, rich cocoa and coffee colored recliners, and sofa and love seats, it's all ready for you at Trend Furniture. And don't forget about all the grays, too, with new sectionals arriving daily, where it's no interest till 2024 and up to 30% off. Trend Furniture across from Sunset Mall, 4002 Wellington.
Right now, when you order a brand new Ford at Jim Bass Ford, this is actually what will happen. You get exactly what you want. Your order goes to the top of the list. you get an additional $1,000 just because you ordered, and you get a free Yeti cooler. So come to Jim Bass Ford and start your order today. Jim Bass Cars and Trucks, Houston Hart and Arden Road, or shop 24/7 at bassbunch.com.
It's time again for the Teacher of the Week, sponsored by Concho Educators Federal Credit Union. Go to ConchoValleyHomepage.com and tell us how your teacher goes above and beyond. They could win great prizes, including a plaque from Angelo Awards, a teacher appreciation bag from Concho Educators, a gift card from Holiday Cleaners, a flower bouquet from Southwest Florist, a delicious cake from City Cafe and Bakery, and a gift certificate from the Original Henry's. Teacher of the Week is sponsored by Concho Educators Federal Credit Union. Go to ConchoValleyHomepage.com for more info.
We go from 11-man to 6-man football now. They still have a week or two before district play. The Eden Bulldogs have pulled off a top 10 upset already this season, beating Lakey. But to do it again, they would have to visit the second-ranked Sterling City Eagles. Game gets underway after an hour rain delay. First Eagles play from scrimmage. It's Jace Clark who collects the low snap, finds Damian Calderon. He does the rest. Check out this run. He puts it on the brakes, cuts back upfield, fights off a tackle, outruns the Bulldogs defense, and Sterling City up 6-0. Right after the kickoff, first Eden play from scrimmage, Kate Elliott takes it out. The quarterback scoops up the loose ball, and Eagles are up 14-0 at that point. Sterling City's defense wasn't done. Still in the first, Julian Gamboa heaves one downfield. Calderon picks it off. He would show off the moves once again, stays on his feet, weaves his way through traffic and finds his way to the end zone. Eagles up 28-0. They would go on to end this one early. Mercy rule, 52-6. Now to go over to the Battle of the Hornets. Erie County's homecoming starting in the first, under 7 minutes left. Ball is snapped. Trayvon Koffel finds Jordan Harrison. He takes it downfield, untouched. Erie County on top 14-8. Staying in the first, Blackwell responds. Dylan Taylor scrambles, gets it to Blade Wood, throws it deep to Kyler Cummings. Blackwell now on top by 2. Later in the first, Erie County looking to get back on top. This time, Harrison hands it off to Caulfield. He takes it to the outside, sheds off a couple tacklers, and he gets it into the end zone. Erie now up 22-16. Now at the end of the first, Caulfield looks downfield, finds Bo Morrow wide open, and he takes it in. Erie County would run away with this one, 67-40. Look at points. You like that? Absolutely. Could the Wildcats keep the train rolling, hosting Highland Hornets out at Diddle Young Field? First quarter, Water Valley scored on the first play from scrimmage. Already up 8-0 here. Cannon Weiss adds to the lead. Happy homecoming. Wildcats continue to show off in front of the crowd on Friday. Next possession, Weiss again gets the pitch, trots untouched, 24-0. Still in the first, how about the hat trick? Hockey season 2 weeks away, folks. This time making a couple of cuts, finds a seam, he's gone. Third touchdown of the quarter for Weiss. Wildcats lead it 32-0 at that point. Now in the second, everyone loves to see one of these. A big man touchdown from the Wildcats. Mark Gonzalez takes the pitch, makes it in for another Water Valley touchdown. Those Water Valley Wildcats stay undefeated. Mercy rule win, 68-6. They start district play next week. Travel up Highway 208 to Robert Lee. Steers hosting the Grady Wildcats. First quarter, Steers with the big play. Michael Munoz moving around in the pocket. Perfect pass to Noah Escamilla for the touchdown. Robert Lee, 6-0. Grady answers right back, though. Wildcats in the red zone. Gunnar Cherry takes the pitch, fights through the Steers defense at the goal line. Later in the quarter, Robert Lee up 14-6. Munoz drops back. This time fires a bomb downfield. Escamilla comes down with it. His third of the game. Steers up 26 at that point. Robert Lee would start to pull away for good. Braden Sherwood gets the pitch, follows his blocks, beats the Wildcats defense. Touchdown, and the Steers pick up the homecoming win, 65-52. Let's go out to Paint Rock. Indians hosting Midland TLCA for homecoming. It's a theme. First quarter, Indians strike first George Garcia takes the handoff, finds a hole, beats the Eagles defenders. Paint Rock up 6-0. Scoring continued for the Indians. The double reverse fakes out the cameraman. Don't worry, Brandon Belk ends up with it. No one's going to catch the big man. Paint Rock up 13-0. Still in the first, Indians with some more trickery. Belk hands it to Mason Mears. He's in for another Paint Rock touchdown. 19-0 Indians. One more time in the quarter, Garcia gets the pitch, rounds the corner, and gone. Paint Rock going to improve to 5-1, entering district play. Indians win big, 52-7. The last team out of District 8-1A, Division 1, Bront taking on undefeated Hermleigh. The Cardinals mercy rule the Longhorns 51-0. Bront faces Sterling City next week. History on the field. For the first time in 70 years, there's a female drum major. Here's the story.
Dedication and hard working. That describes Grambling State University's
World Fame Talking Marching Band.
This season, one band leader is paving the way for women in the future.
It's really mind-blowing, but it's also a dream come true because I've always wanted to be a drum major.
Candace Hawthorne is the first female drum major in 70 years. The first female drum major was Velma Patricia Patterson, who served through 1952. Hawthorne says her years of practice is paying off.
I haven't been treated any differently than as if I were a male, so I work just as hard as they do.
She will be in good company. Deontay Gibson and Siobhan Jones have also been named drum majors.
The things that we're doing today, they were doing them same exact things when the band started in, the late 1920s.
Yet the GSU band has always had a tradition of shaking things up.
This band has done a lot of things before our time. And this band has been well known performance. So it's weird to get that feeling that the next one's up.
So get ready for these GSU drum majors who are making some noise this year. In Grambling, Charles Burkett, KNOE 8 News.
Coming up on Season Pass, we go from the gridiron to the volleyball court. High school volleyball highlights coming up next on Season Pass.
So if we're going to spend a third of our lives sleeping, shouldn't we try to get the best sleep possible? That's why Denver Mattress is all about that sleep life. And during the 4-day super sale, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out the Summit Euro Top for only $349.99. Or get an unbeatable deal on the Colorado mattress, now just $499.99. Plus 6 years no interest and free shipping right to your door. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
Now at a new location, Proline Marine is the same authorized service center for Minn Kota and Motor Guide that San Angelo has trusted for over a decade. Like always, our trained and knowledgeable staff is here, ready to answer your questions and make any repairs you need to get up and running again. With brands like Humminbird, Garmin, PowerPole, and Bonafide Kayak, we've got the best accessories to help you get the most out of your day fishing. Let Proline get you back out on the water.
At KLST and KSAN, we know how difficult it can be to own a local business. Many times, you're not just an owner. You're also the office manager, a salesperson, or even part of the delivery crew. Our team of marketing specialists are eager to help because you've helped us get our vehicles back on the road with safety and confidence. We trust you to keep our homes warm in the winter, but mostly cool in the summer. At KLST and KSAN, it's our mission to help local businesses grow.
Wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you as you bring our colorful stories to the world.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
I send him a text. He texts me back and say, "Who dis?"
The next few weeks, she just made fun of me, like would answer the door and say, "Who dis?"
Who dis?
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
High school volleyball is now in district play. The Wall Lady Hawks visited the Grape Creek Tuesday. The Lakeview Maidens hosted Big Spring. And the Central Lady Cats welcome Odessa Permian to town. Central won the first set 26-24. Odessa Permian has set point in the second. Central's Laney Crooks can't get the hit over the net. Permian evens the match 25-18, the set score. To the third, Central came out with some momentum. Amori Fly goes across the court to get the kill. That gives the Lady Cats the lead. A few points later, Emily Sikora sends that back where it came from. Central looking good in the third. Mojo would climb back. However, they get the kill here. Permian would take the third set. And they would knock off Central in 5 sets, 15-6. The final set score. Panthers win it in 5. Maidens hosting Big Spring home district opener. Lady Steers took the first set. Onto the second, it was a battle. Lakeview up 1. Ryan Terrazas slaps down the kill for Big Spring. Set tied at 11. Later, still close. Lady Steers now up 1. Brandy Coward gets the aggressive. She goes up and hammers that one down, tied at 21. Coward not done, though, a few plays later. This one off a Lady Steer for the Maidens point, set tied at 23. This one went past 25. Here's set point for Big Spring. The soft tap by Terrazas. Ref calls point. Lady Steers take the set 26-24. Lakeview put together another close third set with Big Spring, but they would go on to fall in straight sets on Tuesday. More volleyball action. Grape Creek hosted Wall on Tuesday. First set, ball over to Cameron Williams with some beautiful touch on that one. 12-8 Lady Hawks. Wall takes the first set 25-13, and in the second, ball hanging over the net. Aaron Morrison with the point for Wall. 3-0 at that point. Still in the second, Grape Creek keeping things close. Haley Brett gets up for that one, put the Eagles within 2. However, Wall just too much on Tuesday. It's Williams once again, this time with a huge kill. Wall wins in straight sets, 25-13, 25-12, 25-15. Coming up next on Season Pass, we check in on Angelo State Athletics. Stay with us. We'll be right back after the break.
Your business is important. That's why we're proud to recognize KLST's small business leaders. Santex Air Filtration, the best air filters for your home or business. 64 East Avenue K, 657-8188. RM Electrical, in the dark, we light the way. 486-1309. With 4 of San Angelo's most beloved radio stations, Foster Communications is not only the signal of success, but the signal of San Angelo for more than 60 years.
The San Angelo Police Department is asking for your assistance in helping to reduce vehicle burglaries in our city. We're asking you to remember these 3 important steps. Lock it. Lock your vehicle anytime you're away from it. Take it. Take your keys and valuable items to include firearms. Hide it. Conceal your belongings in locked compartments out of sight from potential criminals. A locked vehicle is a great deterrent to prevent vehicle burglaries.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Boys and Girls Clubs are providing millions of meals to communities, childcare to first responders, and virtual programming. We're doing whatever it takes to help families get through this crisis, but we can't do this alone. Visit bgca.org/relief fund.
Right here, in our hands, we have the power to save a life. If you see a teen or adult suddenly collapse, call 911 and push hard and fast in the center of the chest.
The power is in your hands.
The Angelo State football team with a victory yesterday could put together a win streak after coming away with a win last week in their longest road trip of the season. Pick up win number 1 on home turf. Rams hosting Western New Mexico Saturday from LeGrand Stadium. We picked things up late in the first half. Angelo State already up 31-0. That's Alfred Greer. Shows off the speed. He's gone 86 yards. No one's touching that man. That made it 38-0 Rams. In the second half, the lead now 41-0. It's Kason Phillips who takes a shot on the goal line, but he's able to cross for another Rams touchdown. Just a few minutes later, the Rams go to the air. Hagan Garvin finds Kyle Bradford. Nobody within a country mile of Bradford was able to go 76 yards for the Ram touchdown. If that wasn't enough, Garvin back through the air, shows off his touch. Lots of push-ups for them tonight, or Saturday. Hooks up with Rasheem Green, makes the back shoulder catch, 62-0. How about that for a welcome home treat? Rams win it 62-3. There are now just 3 teams that remain left unbeaten in Lone Star Conference play. Evangelo State took care of business Friday against Texas A&M Kingsville. Looking to stay unbeaten in conference play, the Bells were back in action yesterday afternoon. Quick turnaround for ASU hosting Texas A&M International. In the first set, Bells off to an early lead. It's Bailey Allen with the block right at the net for the point for the Bells. Still in the first, it's Grace White who decides to join the block party for the Bells, extending their early first set lead. A little later on, it's Sophia Berg who shows off the cannon with that kill, splits the defenders for the point, and after a lengthy rally, how about the touch of Kaylin Gilbreth, for the point. The Bells extend their winning streak to 7 matches with the 3-0 victory. To the pitch, the Angelo State soccer team picked up their second straight win and shutout in conference play on Wednesday, 2-0 over Texas A&M International. It's their 5th shutout already this season. Bells scored twice in the first 20 minutes of the first half. Caitlin Heese found the back of the net, assisted by Grace Jordan. About 9 minutes later, Jordan found the back of the net, assisted by Sydney Rodriguez. The Bells will head to Oklahoma Christian. That game was on Saturday. Bells soccer team earned a point, speaking of that match, on the road against Oklahoma Christian on Saturday, resulting in a scoreless draw. The Bells were unable to find the back of the net despite having 19 shots, 13 of which found the target. And now it's time for a new segment on Season Pass where things get a little weird, a little crazy, just straight what was going on. It's time for Compost Crazies from the past week. We start the segment off with something you've only seen 4 times in professional baseball. Brother versus brother. Bradley Zimmer faced his brother Kyle. Bradley takes him deep for the home run, making bragging rights at Christmas at an all-time high. In the Angels-Rangers game, Texas right fielder Adolis Garcia makes a play you never see, but catching into a foul territory, crashes into the wall. So far over on right field, it's so good to see it again. He was okay. He robs David Fletcher on that one. In the Twins-Tigers game, also something you don't see. You don't know where the ball went. No one knows, besides the man that caught it behind home plate. Tyler Alexander, the lucky fan right there, stands behind home plate. Time called during his windup. That lucky fan with the catch probably didn't expect a souvenir right there, but hey, he's happy. To college football, look, watching a game in the rain is never fun, so you got to make the most out of it. Due to these unfortunate conditions, Purdue cheerleader had some fun doing a belly flop right into a puddle. We continue on this college football train. Probably the catch of the year, one-handed. That's Kelvin Jackson Jr., no, not Kelvin Johnson Jr., spinning, making a one-handed catch in the end zone for the touchdown. That's Compost Crazies. Coming up next, we wrap up things with Cowboys.
Streamline your time online with the Concho Valley Homepage app. Get your news and personalized weather faster and easier than ever before. And with live video and news alerts, you'll never miss a story. The Concho Valley Homepage news app. Download it today.
I want to tell you about a leading cause of blindness, wet age-related macular degeneration, or wet AMD. And it's not just a normal part of aging. It took away my mother's ability to read, play bridge, even recognize faces. As her vision slipped away, so did her independence. But now, there are treatments that weren't available to my mom. To learn more about symptoms and treatment options, visit looktoyourfuture.com.
Wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you as you bring our colorful stories to the world.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
welcome back. Following their dominating performance on Monday Night Football against division rival Philadelphia, the Cowboys were back in action this afternoon hosting the 3-0 Carolina Panthers. In the second quarter, game tied at 7, Dak Prescott, Blake Jarwin, the 18-yard touchdown pass, 13-7 Dallas. To the third, Carolina now up 14-13 until Dak Prescott hooks up with Amari Cooper. Coop Dog, 2014 Dallas. Same score in the third. Ezekiel Elliott, patient at the line, finds a hole, and he explodes for a gain of 47 all the way down to the 6-yard line, which sets up this play. Dak once again through the air. This time finds Dalton Schultz to extend the Cowboys' lead to 12. And then the nail in the coffin. Dak finds Cedric Wilson, who hits the B button right there, walks his way into the end zone. Cowboys win it 36-28. Here's Mickey Spagnola with more.
Prior to the Cowboys' 36-28 victory over the Carolina Panthers, the game here on Sunday at AT&T Stadium was billed the irresistible force against the unmovable object. Well, as it turned out, that object got moved. As a matter of fact, it got mowed down by the Dallas Cowboys. The 36 points the Cowboys scored on Carolina was 6 more than they had given up in 3 games. The 433 yards the Cowboys ended up gaining were much more than they were used to giving up on an average during the game. Ezekiel Elliott ran for 143 yards. Guess what? That was 8 yards more than the Panthers had given up in their first 3 games. And Dak's 4 passing touchdowns, that was 1 more than they had given up in 3 games. As a matter of fact, he matched their total in the third quarter when he passed for 3 touchdowns. Also, when it came to sacks, the Cowboys had 5 sacks in the game, and the Carolina Panthers, who led the league with 14 sacks going in, had no sacks whatsoever. So the Cowboys certainly made a statement that they are for real offensively, defensively, and they go into next week with a 3-1 record. For the Silver Star Nation, I'm Mickey Spagnola.
And now it's time for our KLST Player of the Week, which is a quarterback that is taking his role and running with it. Angelo State's backup quarterback, now starting quarterback, Hagen Garvin. Garvin led the Rams on Saturday with their first home game in 2 weeks, dominating 62-3 victory over Western New Mexico in Lone Star Conference play. Garvin threw for 276 yards, just 11 passes, 4 touchdowns, including that one to Kyle Bradford in the third quarter.
Player of the Week is sponsored by Linda's Pawn.
And that takes us to the Dr. Pepper Trivia Challenge. The Central Bobcats dropped their District 2-6 opener last week to Friendship. They were on the road their first of 2 trips to Odessa this season to face the Broncos, which has been kind of a lopsided rivalry as of late. How many consecutive wins does Central have over Odessa? If you guessed 8, you are correct. Congratulations. After the Houston Astros clinched their AL West Division crown for the 4th time in the last 5 seasons, today being the final day of the regular season, the matchups are now set. Game 1 of ALDS play will be Thursday night in Houston as the Astros will take on the Chicago White Sox. And that wraps up this episode of Season Pass. You can check out all of our content over on ConchoValleyHomepage.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at KLST Sports. Make sure to use the hashtag SeasonPass to stay in the conversation. We'll see everyone next week.